Today's debate will be between two of my personalities, the pirate straw hat Grant and Jay. The hat will tell you who is addressing the audience. If the hat is on, then you are hearing from Grant, and if the hat is off, then you are hearing from Jay. The debate topic will be, are men fundamentally dumb? Jay will be arguing for they aren't, and Grant will be arguing for they are. In this instance, Jay will make his initial argument, so without further ado, I will let Jay start with his 1 minute main argument. Men Men aren't dumb. Look at all the firsts they had in the course of history. We are the first to the moon and the first president. Scientific and exploration firsts are commonly held by men. Women's inability to compete with men have left them no longer trying to be the first person to do something, and instead they content themselves with being the first woman to achieve a goal. If men were dumb, then how did they reach a point where others choose to repeat their accomplishments and then use a subcategory of humanity to convince themselves that they were the first to accomplish the task? Women are content with with priding themselves as the first women to do something because they aren't as capable as men who have to strive to be the first person to do something. This drive to be the first person to do something makes men smart. Everyone knows Aristotle, but few know who Simon de Beauvoir is. This is because men know how to be given credit for their work, which is also a smart thing to do. If you examine history, men have a better resume. All right, Grant's 1 minute response to that. Women have a handicap in life because men don't acknowledge their work. Using someone's ability to do something first is a bad argument. If women were fighting from a position of equal opportunity, then they could be expected to have an equivalently good resume. Men aren't smarter than women, men just refuse to acknowledge women's accomplishments. If women were in a dominant position, then they would have just as much opportunity to be the first at accomplishments. Women's lack of historical performance was a result of men being dumb and discounting a woman's ability to contribute. Your argument that men having most of the first person accomplishments, like first person to walk on the moon, is an argument that supports all men are fundamentally dumb. If we had given weight to women, then their contribution to society would have been greater, with the end result of a better society than we currently have. Hence, we can conclude that men are dumb for not giving equal consideration to women over history, which leaves all people in society living in a society that isn't as good as it could be. All right, now it's Grant's 1 minute main argument. Oh, keep the hat. Social media has exposed the true stupidity of men. I spent time comparing which videos get more views. Videos with content got few, if any, views in most circumstances, but videos with women with nice bottoms doing yoga got tons of views. Look at all the catfishing on Facebook. It is fake profiles of women dressed in scantily clad ways. Why is this true? It is true because these things work. Men are obviously just dumb animals walking around trying to fill their base urges. If men were smart, do you think that they would spend their time watching women doing yoga? Or do you think they would sharpen their minds? The smart play is to use your time to better yourself, and I think only men would be stupid enough to try and claim that wasting something as valuable as time by watching women that they will never even know doing stretches is dumb. We look at the resume of men and see all the firsts that men have done, but we never look at history and look at all the dumb things men have done. Hitler, Stalin, and Vlad the Impaler were men, and all were ridiculously stupid. Geez, 1 minute rebuttal to Grant. All right. Men play serious games for the highest stakes, but that doesn't make them stupid. One of the things that make men so smart is that they police themselves. Sure, there are a few wackos amongst the group, but when those wackos arrive, most men show up on the scene and correct it. When you see the stupidity of Hitler, it was smart men like Churchill who showed up and made sure that these men of lesser intelligence did not overwhelm the world. Women have just as many idiosyncrasies as men. Women talk about men's butts all the time and stare at attractive men all the time. Even though the men may not be doing yoga, using the fact that attraction governs some of men's actions as an example of their lack of intelligence doesn't hold water because it is a trait that is commonplace in both sexes. All right, now we're at Jay's 1 minute closing argument. Men score about the same as women on IQ tests, and to make it out as if men do not is disparaging to men. Blanket statements about large groups are rarely right, and whether a man or woman makes them, they usually turn out to be wrong. People want to suggest that men have one track minds and do things without thinking of consequences, which makes them dumb. That is no more outlandish than thinking that all blonde women are stupid. The reason many women in society say men are dumb isn't because they think men are dumb. Women realize that for them to compete with men, then they must do it as a team. Every team needs a good rally cry to bring members together. And for women, that rallying cry is that men are dumb. Men don't need to operate as a team because they know they are smart enough to handle themselves as individuals. The knowledge that men possess means that they don't need to be part of a team to get what they want, which is proof that men are smart. All right, Grant's 1 minute closing argument. If a woman is verbally abusive to a man, then she is being assertive. And if a man does the reverse, then he is in deep trouble. If a woman talks about a man's butt, then she is fine. But if the reverse happens, then the man is a jerk for objectifying women. Why do these idiosyncrasies exist? They exist because women know that men are too dumb to notice them. The way women hold men to standards that women have no intention of meeting themselves is ridiculous. Women know that men are too dumb to notice these double standards. Even if men did notice these double standards, then they still wouldn't know what to do about them. Men have gone from dominant to submissive and haven't even realized it. The days of men strutting around because they are so awesome has ended. Men lost their position in the world and now are required to sit in the corner and obey like the stupid animals that they are.